Armada. And now I'm talking with PTV, and the customers of PTV save more than 40,000 tons of carbon emission every single day. How do you do that? That's what I'm going to talk about with you, Janine. Nice to have you at the GreenTech Festival with us. You are Vice President Marketing and Communication. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
What's so special for you, and why are you a partner at the GreenTech Festival?
Well, we at PTV are convinced that the green transformation can only happen if multiple stakeholders join forces. So we must all work together here, and that's why it's so great that at the GreenTech Festival you have stakeholders from startups, from established industries and companies, but also politics and governments. And as we in PTV provide also software to make mobility more sustainable and efficient, we just thought it's a perfect match.
So you're talking about your software you're offering. What's so special about it?
PTV is the market leader in mobility and transportation software. So in the terms of mobility, we are offering software to model, simulate and manage traffic, and also new mobility solutions. So we're working here with more than 2,500 cities worldwide in order to make the infrastructure and also mobility service more sustainable and efficient. And in logistics, we are helping logistics companies to optimize deliveries up from a real logistics process until the last mile to the customer.
So you're talking about logistics. Obviously cargo plays a huge role as well. How do you get cargo delivery cleaner?
Well, cargo delivery is really complex. You have to take into account multiple things like restrictions where you are not allowed to drive through with a truck, for example. And also you need to schedule multiple stops within your route. Mm-hmm. So with our software, we are planning and optimizing those stops and also the deliveries in order to save routes and also vehicles, and therefore make deliveries more efficient, and that's also why they are more sustainable in the end.
Of course. And what can cities do to promote sustainability?
They can do a lot of things, actually. So I will give you some concrete examples to make it more visible. For example, you can reduce stop-and-go traffic. Remember that when you, next time waiting on a traffic light in the car, this actually causes a lot of emissions. Mm-hmm. And when you optimize the traffic light system with the whole infrastructure network, this can also reduce stop-and-go traffic and therefore optimize emissions, or reduce emissions, basically. A second example is that we are helping cities to do infrastructure planning. For example, make cities more bicycle friendly or integrate new mobility services like e-scooters or mobility as a service like shared services.
Mm-hmm. And which city do you see as a front runner?
Well, there are multiple ones, and often when you talk about front runners, we often think about our Scandinavian friends. They actually do a really great job. Mm-hmm. I want to also point out to other cities because I think they show pretty good what different options cities have. For example, Paris, they still have some way to go to be fully sustainable, that's for sure, but they really have a clear vision with its mayor Anne Hidalgo in order to bring the city back to people and let Paris breathe again. For example, they have an interesting approach which is called the 15-minute city, where everything you need as a resident, like shopping, school or work, should be approachable within 15 minutes by bike or walking. So that's really interesting. And the other city I would point out is also Lisbon, because already since some time they are really focused on customer centricity or resident centricity. For example, already 90% of all residents in Lisbon are living maximum within 300 meters away from frequent public transport service. Mm-hmm. And also already in 2017 they implemented a highly used bike sharing scheme where the majority is electric bikes to also cover the hillier parts of Lisbon. And they actually have one of the greatest e-charging network in the world.
And how do you see German cities compared to Lisbon?
I think they keep coming. So for example, also in Berlin we have a lot of projects, and you can also see now fostered by Corona. There were a lot of pop-up bike lanes, for example. So bicycle traffic really did took off, and I hope that most of the cities will also make that a permanent solution. And I think we can see that in a lot of German cities. So that gives me hope for that.
That's super interesting. Obviously, we are talking a lot about e-mobility at the GreenTech Festival, but it's also important to get the right charging infrastructure. How can you help with data maybe to get this infrastructure better?
This is also a typical use case for us in the field of the usage and network analysis. So basically, we have a really exact project around e-mobility and charging in Scotland, together with Scottish Power. And we are allocating or first analyzing the impact of the e-mobility and the vehicles on the whole network, and then allocate where the best points for charging stations are. So this is basically the perfect example to fit the need of the vehicles with the charging infrastructure.
And you are cooperating with a lot of cities, with a lot of companies as well. What are you searching for or looking for at the GreenTech Festival?
Well, as I said, change derives from collaboration, and it needs multiple stakeholders to join forces here. So we are really eager to join forces and discuss with multiple stakeholders from politics, but also industry and automotive, in order to see how we can together shape cities and make mobility and transportation greener for the future. How
important is sustainability for you personally?
It's really important, not only because I'm a passionate hiker and biker, and I of course want to protect the beauty of our Earth, but also as a citizen. I mean, I think we all enjoy a green, breathing city where we can walk around and there's not too much noise, pollution, congestion. So I'm definitely moving forward to this solution and to greener cities.
And what did you learn so far at the GreenTech Festival?
I learned that there are still a lot of opportunities, still a lot of innovative ideas and creative minds, which actually gives me a lot of hope and motivation to drive forward for a more sustainable future together.
Yeah, a more sustainable future together. Thanks a lot for joining us here at the GreenTech Festival, Janine. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.